Hello everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today's video I'm going to be showing you all my design and creation process for the Epic Underworlds Create a Card event. If you are interested in checking out the EU Discord server, there'll be a link in the description. Same with Epic's channel. This video will be split into 4 parts: my inspiration, my design process, my creation process, and my final thoughts. In terms of inspiration, for a long time I had no inspiration at all. But then I looked around, done some research, and Bloodborne hit me. Bloodborne's my favourite game of all time, and the thing I like so much about Bloodborne is its themes. Yes, it has some very dark themes, but overall, its take on cosmic horror is just brilliant. Cosmic horror is widely defined as the fear of the unknown. It was made popular by people like H.P. Lovecraft, and it really lends to some amazing character, creature, and story designs. But Bloodborne takes this and kind of twists it. It has its own take. It uses this idea of insight. Insight is defined as the ability to gain accurate and deep understanding of someone or something. And Bloodborne uses this not as a good thing, but Bloodborne uses this to twist the player's perception of the world and reveal the true horrors of what's actually in control and what's actually going on around them. And this is just something that I find so interesting, and I think it's brilliant. And this is the theme I'm decided to go with for my card submission. So there are two main themes I want to go for in my submission. First of which being the idea of knowledge and insight, and the second of which being the fear of the unknown. To do this, I'm going to be using some key motifs. So to represent insight and knowledge, I'm going to be including quite a lot of eyes. I feel like eyes, not only in literature and culture, are eyes kind of seen as this symbol of research. However, they are also they can be used to create some quite cool creature designs and card designs. The second of which, to represent the unknown, I'm going to be using an abstract kind of style, especially for the background, which is something that I don't usually do. However, I think this could really lend to some pretty cool, to a pretty cool card. So we see here, I'm just doing some concept sketches, taking into account things like this kind of abstract background, using eyes, the kind of abstract proportions for this creature, things like that. Also, I'm wanting to use colours to kind of represent these themes. So the two main colours I'm going to be using are black to represent this kind of mystery, this intrigue, and second of which is going to be red to kind of represent this sense of danger. Now, getting on to actually making the card. For the ability, I wanted to do something simple. Something simple, but something that could be useful. So, I wanted it to represent this idea of insight and knowledge. So, I went for the ability, both players reveal the top 3 cards of their deck. They add any creatures from among them to their hands and discard the rest. This ability kind of, again, represents this learning what your cards are, learning what your opponent's cards are. And I think I think it fits the card. In terms of the name, you'll see I originally was going to go for the name Insight. However, I thought that was boring. I thought that was a bit too head-on to the theme. And so instead I went for a more abstract name in Breaching the Beyond. This name, I think, really exemplifies everything I wanted for the card. It kind of shows this sense of this abstract, unnatural world kind of colliding with the human world, almost forming a bridge, and this is shown again in the artwork. We see this kind of abstract unknown creature, this abstract background, and we see it's kind of hard to tell, but in the bottom we also see this human opposing this creature. It's this bond, this collision between the two worlds. Again, in the artwork, I added this moon in the background, which I'm actually really pleased with. I think this moon kind of represents a sense of mysticism, this sense of something supernatural. So I'm very pleased with how the kind of, and my final thoughts. I'm very happy with how the concept came out, the kind of inspiration, the themes behind it. I'm very happy with all of that. I think the background I'm very pleased with. I tried a new abstract style which worked quite well. I think I really like it. I also like the kind of positioning of everything. I think the creature, the design I like. It's heavy. It takes heavy inspiration from creatures in Bloodborne, like the moon presence. However, I feel like maybe I could have spent slightly longer kind of getting it exactly how I liked it. However, other than that, I'm very pleased with how the card turned out. So, thank you for watching. Like I said, if you guys are interested in checking out my Discord server, it's in link in the description. Epic's Discord server, link in the description. Epic's YouTube channel, link in the description. So thank you guys for watching. I'll see you guys in the next video.